Okay. Alright. F4E with AIM-7E Sparrow missiles, which are carried semi-recessed into the fuselage, so that's not a bug or an error or a graphical glitch. That is actually how they are carried. They drop down and then fire, so the animation, when it's final and correct, it might already be, but they should drop, and then the rocket motor will fire, and then the missile will fly off, so... Let's see how these work, and let's see if there's a way to, designate a target and then switch to the missiles, because there has to be a way to choose between which missile you're firing. So we'll probably have to check the controls, I suspect. Let's get a look at those babies. Oh, that's so great! It's so nice to see the F4 with all of its proper loadout. Yes! And you can carry bombs and stuff with it as well, so that'll be very interesting as well. Okay, so let's see if we can get us we got a lock on here. If we fire a missile, so that should be lighting up the AIM-9J. So we got to, I think we're gonna have to go take a peek at the controls here. And let's see what we've got for... See, air-to-air still just has its one thing, so how do we switch between... Well, that's interesting. Oh, is that for the helicopter? That's for the helicopter. Never mind. Where is a button for choosing which missile you want to fire? Is there one? I wonder, I wonder. Huh. I don't see a button, and I wonder if there is something. Oh god, yeah, you're probably right about the, stupid multifunction. Yeah, you're probably right about the multifunction menu that I don't want to use. So let's see, what is that, R? No. Y. Y3, okay. Nope. It's not Y and 3. What else we got? Okay. Maybe we have to... I don't know. I don't know. I'd kind of like to know how we're supposed to fire these. Yeah, that's a good point. We'll actually try that and see if it defaults to the Sparrows after that. Huh. Weapon lock, sensor lock required. So that seems like it's trying to fire the Sparrows then. Interesting. Alright. Let's see if we can drop down and get a radar guide on this guy and fire it off and see which missile actually fires. Maybe it's trying to fire the Sparrows, but I want to be able to select the weapon I want to fire, so, you know, if I'm farther away or I have a bomber or a non-maneuvering target, I want to be able to actually punch off. Yeah, that's a Sidewinder growl for sure. Interesting. It doesn't seem like it's... It sounds like the Sidewinder trying to lock on, but it doesn't seem like it's the Sidewinder. Yeah, I don't know. I've got radar locked. I mean, by all rights, I should be able to fire a Sparrow right now. It's radar guided, unless I'm not using the right radar. Let's see if there's a different radar guidance mode that I have to use, because that's search. There we go. There's track. Maybe I can do it now. Nope. Definitely not letting me launch. It's got the... I don't get it. Let's try to look up. Yeah, I don't get it. The radar is locked on him. That is a radar lock. I don't know what's what it's missing here. See if we can go back to controls. There's just air-to-air missile. There's no other. And this is the weapon lock I have. Is this one? So. Yeah, Relic, I can do that. I'll do that in a second, but I want to be able to switch between weapons. So let's search for a missile and see if. Nope. Okay, let's try restarting. Let's try restarting the test flight, and this time we'll only take Sparrows. Sparrows, Sparrows, Sparrows. Where are the Sparrows by themselves? Where are Sparrows by themselves? Can I not just bring... Can I not just bring 4 AIM-7Es by themselves? No, whatever, I'll just use this. Thank you for the follow, Arkun. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take bombs and just drop them. That's what we're gonna do. That should be a missile guidance. Yeah, that must actually be the Sparrow menu. It just, I don't know why it wouldn't let me fire it. Yeah, it's just that it's not letting me fire the missile. Okay, hang on. Nope, still can't fire it. Alright, let's try this again. See, it's registering that I'm trying to fire. It just won't let me. Maybe I'm within minimum distance. I'm gonna let him get a little farther away and see if there's a minimum launch distance. Although it said 0.01. So I mean, I'm guessing that they probably just don't work, which is disappointing, but we'll let him get a little farther away and then we'll see if we have any better luck. Oh, Gaijin couldn't get them working either? Well, then they probably just don't work. Okay, then. That probably answers the question, and that's really disappointing. It seems like they're just not doing anything. Yeah. Well, that... Shit! They sure do look good, though. Well, I guess that answers that question. What a disappointment. Well, that sucks. Okay, we got a Razorback P-47. P-47D-22 from Republic. They got the landing light modeled, right? That's cool. The takeoff and landing light. Okay. Let's take a look at the modifications and everything else. So we got the regular old 8 machine guns. We got 4 loadouts. 500 pounders, some rockets, and probably thousands. So it looks like it's going to be the same loadouts as 10 HVARs, or you can get, yeah, there we go. 10 HVARs, a 500, and 2 1000. So the pretty standard P-47 loadouts. Marquez favorite. I like the favorite thing. That's cool. The only thing I don't like about the favorite loadout is that it moves it up here by it takes it out of the loadouts down here. So if you're looking for something down below, and you don't remember that it's favorited, that's kind of a pain. But I like it. The favorite thing is an improvement. All right. Let's see what it can do. See if the cockpit is modeled. That's cool. Does not want to get off the ground. There we go. She did not want to climb away. I'm glad they've actually got the landing gear retract and probably... Well, at least the landing gear retract is modeled properly. That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, she's a little slower. She's a little slower than the Bubble Canopy sisters, I think. Interesting. It's definitely gonna take you a minute to climb in this thing if you take off from the runway. From the airfield. I'm just gonna fire off all the weapons from back here and then go back to the hangar because we know what the weapons are like. So, no real mystery there. Let's see how it climbs. Actually, let's see how it accelerates and then spade it in a clean configuration, and we'll see what the climb rate is like. Because I don't anticipate it being terribly good. Although... yeah, it's not accelerating terribly quickly. Even clean. So, let's see how the climb is. If we keep our speed at 200... Man, look at it bleed off. Look at the speed bleed off. Barely nosed up. Boy. I see this thing having, definitely having an air spawn because... this thing's never going to get to altitude. This is spaded. This is spaded and we can barely climb in it. Holy cow. Alright, well, I don't really see a point to just sitting here and climbing in this thing for the next 40 minutes. The exhausts are animated right though. You can actually see fire coming out of the exhaust down there below. Alright, well, that's all I need to see for the P-47. Okay, we've also got a premium YP-38, which has a 37mm cannon in the nose instead of the usual 20. And you can see it's in testing unpainted bare metal finish, so that's actually kind of neat. It really gives off the 1930s, late 1930s, early 1940s U.S. Army Air Corps vibe there. We'll take a look at the modifications on this baby. Thankfully, this one's already spaded, so we've got... How many machine guns do we have? 2 apiece? Yep. 2 12-7s, 2 7.62s, and the 37mm M4 with only 15 rounds, so be careful with that. Alright, so ammo is not great for the 7.62, but it's probably it's basically a pre-war, a pretty pre-war aircraft. So universal's okay, ground targets is a 50-50, and then default's air-to-air. We'll go with ground for testing, just to take it into see if we can damage the pillboxes on the test flight. If there are any, it's probably Hawaii again. Look at how thin the prop blades are. Those are not very big propeller blades. Alright, interesting. Let's see if there's any... Yep, no skins. Okay. Test flight it is. Okay. Take a look inside the cockpit here. This cockpit looks pretty modeled. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, here we go. Let's see, looks like the 50s are probably the top. Alright. All the machine guns fire together. All the machine guns just fire. There's no fire of the 12-7s separate from the 7.62s. They just, all 4 of them fire. That's odd. I wonder why that's like that. That's very strange to me. So I wonder if this will get an air spawn too. It certainly climbs better than the P-47D Razorback. That is certainly true. It looks good. Alright, let's go use the 37mm against the ground targets and see how it does. And then we'll see what kind of speed we can get it up to. We'll try to climb up and just see what kind of level speed we can get it up to, because it should presumably be pretty fast at altitude. Tally-ho indeed. The F4C gets AIM-7 Deltas, and the F4E gets AIM-7 Echoes. So they both get, they're just different versions of it. Okay, let's try that again. We'll go for the soft skin one and see if we can actually hit it. Okie doke. Make one more pass at the tank. See if we can hit him from the side. And try to actually get a 37mm penetrating shot. That was probably HE. Which means this one, we got 3 left, so this should be an AP round. So we should have 2 AP rounds left. Try one more low pass and see if we can get any good hits on him. Yeah, that one hit and did damage. Just not a lot, so... Okay. Let's see if we can climb. See what kind of climb we can get here. Yeah, the climb isn't going to be that great. You're not going to be able to... You're not going to be able to stand it on its tail. We're climbing at about... where is it? I'm looking for the climb angle. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. Anyway. Not going to be able to climb too steeply in this, but if it gets an air spawn and starts at speed, you should be able to get up to a pretty decent altitude. But for now, if you take off from the ground, you're going to take a minute to get yourself up to speed here, so... You're going to bleed off a lot of speed getting to altitude, so just watch out. It's a very interesting airplane. I don't know if I'm going to get it myself, but... Hey, thanks for the resub, Brad. Appreciate that very much. Alright, well, there's the YP38 MC there. So, that's all I'm really gonna worry about for that test flight. Alright, so we've already got the regular old TAM in War Thunder, and now in the next patch we're going to get the TAM 2C, which is, all it does is they just added a basket on the back, so there's no point in looking at this, so we'll move on to the USSR. Just kidding, just kidding. Everybody relax, everybody relax. Let's see, what we've got here that's pretty interesting is under the modifications, of course you start with DM12 with the whole new, everybody gets Heat FS as the stock shell, but you get DM33 105s as the upgrade in Tier 1, and then you get 105mm DM63 in Tier 4. So we'll take a good look at that in just a moment after I buy up all of these here modifications, and we'll be right back. Okay, so DM63 at Tier 4. We got 60-degree penetrations of 252 at 10 meters down to 229 at 2 kilometers. That's pretty good for a 105mm shell. Flat pen at 10 meters, which you're almost never going to see unless you run into, like, you know, a Tiger H1, and it's got flat side armor, in which case you could kill it with your Heat FS, but flat pen at 10 meters and 0-degree angle is 436mm, which ain't too bad. Alright, so we'll just buy that. And then the other thing in here that's actually unique for War Thunder so far, at least that I've found in the dev server, is the laser warning system, which actually should be really useful, considering that we've got a lot of laser lock on ATGMs from helicopters coming, and it looks like it's probably this, I assume, because that looks like a 360 thing with like some lenses. That's probably the laser lock detector right there, I would think. So there we go. So for modifications, we have got one FN mag machine gun on the roof. Oh, there's two, sorry. One coax and one on the roof. And then the 105mm, and then 8 times smoke. Let's go take a look at this in the X-ray real quick. Up here. So most of the ammo is stored in the back half of the tank. The engine up front. Got a little bit of ammo turning in the turret. 29 pieces of first stage, and then some more up here in the back of the turret, and then the longer term ammo storage is in the back of the vehicle there. So there we go. So TAM 2C will be easily recognizable and easy to differentiate from the regular TAM because of all the stuff on the back of it. So won't be hard to tell that apart anyways. From the front, it's a little more difficult. The stuff on the roof is different. I mean, Yeah, I've got bushes in the way, but you can see that the roof of this one is a lot just more clean and flat compared to the 2C. Has a lot more things on the roof. So you should be able to tell if you run into one from the front. Now, if they put bushes up on the roof, yeah, it'll be a little harder to tell, but, you know, just assume it's a 2C, and there you go. Alright, let's test drive this puppy. Yes, it also has side skirts. I gotta make sure I mention side skirts, or I'll never be able to request anything from Gaijin again. Okay, DM, there's... Wait, hang on. Either there's no zoom, or the zoom button got reset with my controls, which I really should import my controls, probably. But, and we'll do that later. No, it's there. It's the same button. So either there's no zoom for this thing, or they haven't modeled the zoom in yet. Because that ain't zooming. But anyway. Okay, let's just go straight to distance on the T-64A. See if we can hit it in the front of its turret. I want to see if it'll go through the turret. Well, I didn't get his turret, but... Let's take a check at the speed here, see what the speed looks like. Actually, not too bad. It feels like it's accelerating better than my regular old TAM does. We'll have to... I'll go back and check the... Well, it topped out at 30 miles an hour, which I think is the same as the base TAM, but we'll compare the power to weight ratios and the engine horsepower in a second. Yeah, DM63 is going to be interesting to shoot. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So it's not a 1,000-degree katana go through everything round. It didn't go through that. But it went through off to the other side, so yeah. This is going to be very interesting. Alright, well, DM63 105 rounds are pretty interesting, as you might expect. Looks like it fires all four smokes, so you can't really help that. The machine guns have a new sound. That's cool. Nice. Looks like we got a few new sounds. It looks like we got curving tracer arcs, too, when you're firing on the move at something. I don't think they're normally modeled like that. So that's nice. Nice little visual update there. Okay. All right, so let's just look at the engine power. 30.5 tons, 720 horsepower, 47 miles an hour max speed, and that looks like exactly the same on the original one. So no difference between the engines or the engine power. And yeah, yep, side skirts are new. It's a very important aspect of the TAM. Okay, TAM 2C. Cool. So we've got a pair of T-72Bs foldered now. So one is the old one, and then we've got the T-72B 89. So we'll take a look at this thing right here. And there we have it. Got the old crab turret. We got some extra armor protection on the side. Let's take a look and see if those are ERA or not. They are ERA. Those are ERA on the side there. Contact 5. Integrated ERA on the side of the... and on the front of it. And on the turrets. So lots of Contact 5 on this thing, including on the roof. So it'd be interesting to see if this thing survives hits from Kill Bill missiles on the roof. I bet it'll survive the first one. The first hit. Very, very interesting. Probably would survive a Hellfire or two as well, but if you lock on and punch off 2 or 3 of them, you'll probably still kill it. But you'll be firing more missiles as a result. Okay. Show external armor. That should take the ERA off. Yeah, it's gonna be a tougher nut to crack right here. Armor dimensions at this point, 767 millimeters straight on. And that's, well, that is without ERA because it doesn't have ERA in the front. But look at that. My God. 807 right there. That's going to be a scary vehicle to encounter from the front. You can kill it through the lower plate, probably. And I mean, it's War Thunder. You can always just shoot it in the gun barrel, just like everything. But that's going to be a very, very interesting tank to fight against. Especially considering that the ERA is just stock. It's integrated ERA that's just part of the tank. You don't even have to unlock it. Speaking of unlocking, so 425 at 10 meters, 0 degrees with the 3BM22, and 479 with the 3BM42. But the thing that matters is the 60 degree, which as you can see is significantly better with the 3BM42. So that's the best round you're going to get with this tank. It's still the best round that the Soviets have as far as APF-SDS goes. So there we have it. We'll take it for a test drive just to hear what the engine sounds like and see what the mobility and the gun sounds are like, and then we'll move on. Oh man, look at that thing. Look at them ERA blocks. Oh boy. Wow. It's still, the ammo carousel is still pretty unprotected, so you could still, if you get it from the side, or even really from the front, you can still hit the ammo carousel. But, yeah, the turret's not too fast. I guess they figure they don't really have to worry. Now that was an interesting bounce. I don't know if everybody saw the hit that made. Alright. Here, wait, hang on. Let's listen to the engine and see what the acceleration is like. "26 miles per hour isn't really anything to write home about." But man, you can have some good turret protection if you're looking around for targets and they fire at you. That actually went through and got his track. I'm surprised. Okay, that's an easy one to kill. Let's see how we do with the Chieftain. Oh, that actually went through and got his gunner. That's amazing. It feels like that shouldn't have gone through there. But, maybe. So if you start with cruise control, it actually... Look at the front road wheel. The front road wheel's like off axle. The front road wheel's like off center. The front road wheel's like rotating off the center of the axle. Is it like on this side? It looks like the second one. The second road wheel is off on this one. What the heck? Oh my god, that's great. Holy crap. That's amazing. Alright, and then we come up to the T-72B3, which is at 10.7. And let's see what this thing looks like. Well, it looks just like the other one, but of course it's not quite the same. It's slightly better. So, still the same ammunition choices though. We've got much better. This is going to be the big difference that takes it from 9.7 to 10.7 right here. Is going to be the extra armor, because that's pretty crazy. So yeah, same ammo. So we'll buy up all these and we'll take it for a test drive and check her out. Alright, so I was just told by the stream that the UBH will also contain a new engine upgrade. So, let's take a look at what the engine stats are right here. We got 46 tons mass, 840 horsepower at 2,000 RPM, 37 miles an hour. Let's see if that changes when we purchase and add on the T72B3 UBH upgrade. And yeah, 1130 horsepower. I believe that's a slight upgrade. 840 horsepower to 1130 horsepower. And top speed 37. This one was also top speed at 37. So it looks like the top speed is governed out, but I bet you it moves an awful lot better. So we'll test drive it real quick without this modification, and then we'll test drive it with that modification just to kind of compare them. And then we'll check how it looks visually as well during the test drive. So, all right. I'm not so worried about the ammunition types here because we already know what those are. So we'll just take a quick look at the X-ray just to see if there's anything visually different. There's what the first engine looks like, in case anybody remembers what it looks like when we check the second engine. Let's check the speed and acceleration here. We're just going to drive straight forward and see how long it takes us to get up to what seems to be the top speed. It seems like we're not going to break 25 miles an hour here. It's supposed to get up to 37, but that's probably best case scenario going to be on like abandoned factory or, you know, maps like that where you have a hard paved road, maybe like the center of the city at Poland. So yeah, seems like we're pretty limited to about 25 to 26 miles an hour across this terrain. That's pretty standard in War Thunder right now, though. Nothing gets up to what its rated top speed is when it's driving cross-country, which, you know, I mean, cross-country driving, that turret is a lot faster than the B8 1989, though. We're going to compare those turret rotation speeds in a second, because that definitely looks faster. That is way faster than the last turret was. Alright, let's go check it out with the UBH upgrade. Okay, UBH upgrade installed. Well, there's a little bit of a visual difference there, I'd say. I'd say there's somewhat of a visual change there. We got some fences on the back of it to stop heat rounds from hitting it. Side skirts get a little protection. It's going to be a little harder to take out the ammo carousel on this thing. Let's take a look at this X-ray real quick and just see... Yeah, that's all ERA. Relict ERA. And there's some more right there. And then just slat armor to stop heat rounds from getting through and hitting the vehicle. This is going to be a difficult vehicle to kill when it's fully upgraded. Goodness gracious. Lower front is still pretty easy to get through, so if you can hit that spot. And the side, you might still get through if you can shoot in between the ERA, which will probably happen. But, I mean, kinetic protection is only 150 millimeters. So you'll probably still be able to get through that with APF SDS and still hit the ammo and probably detonate it. That probably will still happen. But if you got somebody who's firing stock heat FS at you from the side in this thing with the UBH upgrade, you probably will survive a couple hits from it. Okay, well, let's see what the driving is like. Alright, let's test her out. Here we go. Well, it's definitely faster. It got much faster, much faster. Looks like 31 is the limit on cross-country, but that's better than the 25 that the non-mod... Oh, there we go, 32. That's still significantly faster and much more... I'll bet it'll have a lot of better power for climbing hills and stuff, too. That's hauling. This bitch be hauling! Lost a little bit of speed in the turn there, but it's moving along pretty fast. It's definitely faster with the upgrade and even better armor protection, too, so that's going to be an interesting upgrade prioritization decision. Ouch. Very interesting vehicle there. I would say that's worthy of a 10.7 battle rating. I would think. Turret rotation is 29 degrees per second. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's going to be something to look out for. If you encounter one of these things with the slats on the side and the all that ERA on the sides of it, you better make sure you know where you're aiming. Woo! That's very interesting. If you want a Tier 4 Premium at 4.7 battle rating, there you go. Otherwise, I personally don't really care about this thing. I'm not going to go out and get it. I may or may not test fly it on the real server. Probably not. No tail gunner and gets the same loadouts as the regular SU-6 and regular IL-22. Or, IL-22. That's not what I meant. But anyway, the IL-2. We'll take this for a test flight and we'll see how it flies and how it handles. Alright. So... X-ray, pretty standard. Let's take her up. Let's see what we got here. Whoa. Really wants to break its prop. Gear folds up relatively quickly. Alright, let's see what kind of climb we can get. See how where we stop accelerating upwards. Oh, right about there. Okay. So you got a reasonable climb angle. It's an attacker, not a high-performance fighter, so it's not gonna get up too high too quickly. But it's also not really meant to. So you're gonna mostly probably want to keep this thing not much higher than about 5,000 feet, I would think, and then go in and do low-altitude dogfighting and low-altitude ground attacking. But you got 4 machine guns, 2 cannons, and up to 10 rockets here, along with some bomb loadouts and stuff. It doesn't look like it has an internal, no internal bomb bay, so unlike the IL-2. Oh, I just overfired. Huh. Alright. I'm sorry, comrades, but you are from a competitor aviation bureau. You cannot be allowed to keep flying. Or maybe you can. There we go. I jammed up the machine guns. Alright, let's make a run in on this tank and see if we can take it out. Alright, machine guns are unjammed. Alright, we'll see if the rockets do anything against the tank. I mean, they should, but they probably won't because of rocket dispersion. But after that, we'll make a quick rocket run on this Panzer IV F2 from a high angle, and then we'll go back to the hangar and check out its armor. Yeah, I mean, we did a pretty good amount of damage to it, but we didn't kill it. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a bathtub there. It's like, that either protects the landing gear or, like, hydraulic lines or ammo lines or something. I'm not sure what that actually protects. Protects the wing spars? Must be for protecting the wing spars. Yeah. It's protecting the oil cooler. Okay, that makes sense. The oil coolers are right there, and the armor right there goes right underneath the oil coolers. So yeah, protects the oil coolers from ground fire. That makes a lot of sense. There's the oil cooler air intakes right there. And other than that, the pilot's got a little armored bathtub to protect him from ground fire too. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, well, there you have it. The Su-6 premium airplane attacker for Soviet Union. You can get 6 S-24s. We're gonna mark that as favorite right now. Alright, let's buy up all these and we'll take the S-24s out for a 6 S-24 test flight. Alright. Slap 6 S-24s on there. Take the armored target ground load out and take this puppy out for a test flight. Look at that. That's a scary sight. Alright. I was gonna say, wow, this really has a nose-up attitude on the ground, but I guess that explains why. Because, I mean, from right here, I couldn't tell that the nose wheel wasn't on the ground. I was like, holy shit, that tail is low.
Thank you.
Hey, Brad, thank you for the gift sub.
You love me. You really love me.
So I'm, like, cracking up here with the... looking from the back, like, wow. Like, the first time, it was way nose down, and they really overcorrected for the second dev server. But, yeah, there we go. So, when we fire up the afterburner, we'll hold the brakes for a second. When we release, it should knock the plane forward. So, let's test that. I like the smoke coming off of the engine exhaust from having it touching the ground. Alright. Now, there we go. I was going to say, the afterburner should fix that. And there we go. Now we've got the more expected, somewhat more nose down on the ground attitude of the Su-7. That's really funny. Oh, you Sukhoi designers. You're so silly. Boy, he really wants to get airborne, though. So how do the skis work? Oh, okay, the skis actually fold up inside with the tires. Alright, that's cool. Let's see what the roll rate looks like. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Oh my god. Alright, there's the tank targets. Let's see what the level speed gets up to. Which we actually can't check while we're in the... I forgot, you can't look at the stat cards of the vehicles from the test flight. I need to look at that stuff before we get into battle. Alright. Are we going to break Mach at low altitude? We're getting close. We're slowing down a little bit. Acceleration is definitely slowing. And... we did it. We broke Mach. Just barely. Alright. Let's go into a climb. See how much speed we bleed off. Well, when the pilot G's out, we bleed off a lot more. Okay. There we go. No, I have not picked up Microsoft Flight Sim yet. I'm a little scared by the 700 gigabyte download. I don't want to have to buy a 3 terabyte SSD just to put the single game on. Okay. Down we go. Tanks should be right here, I think. I'm pretty sure this is where the tank targets are. If I remember correctly. Yeah, there they are. We know what the speed limit is. See what this cockpit looks like. Not bad. It does have a ballistic computer. Yeah, good call. I actually forgot to look for that. Ballistic computer's a little off with the S-24s, though. Those didn't exactly hit on the crosshair for the ballistic computer, but that's okay. Little off. Little off with that one. Set the truck on fire, though. And pulled up just a bit too late. Anyway, there we go. Aw, it won't let me launch the rockets on the ground. Boo. Oh my god. Look, it's got a face. It's got a face. Hi, guys. Oh, jeez, this is going to be amazing. Now, let's take a look at the modifications. You've got... Oh, okay. Aha. That kind of explains... That kind of explains why it's, kind of explains why it would be, 1.7. Because it's only HE. Which is, I'm sure, fine at 120 millimeters. It's going to be fine against anything you're going to see at 1.7. Probably well past 2.7. But that explains it. Alright, we'll speed this out real quick and then we'll test drive it. Because I can't wait to see this gun in action. Oh, this is going to be hilarious. Yeah, it's got ears, but the ears aren't the same. They're not symmetrical. But, I mean, most people's ears aren't symmetrical either, so... That is so funny. Oh, my God. It's got, like, Iron Giant smile face. Oh, let's test drive this thing. This is going to be... I can't wait. Actually, hang on. Before we test drive it, let's look at the stat card, because I want to see... Yeah, turret rotation speed is 5 degrees a second. The vertical is good, and the reload rate isn't terrible, but 11.5 seconds... You better make sure you hit what you're aiming at. So, let's see. The armor penetration is about what you would expect because it's HE. It says max speed is 25 miles an hour, but I bet we'll make about 20 at best on most terrain. Alright, let's test that out. Okay, turret rotation, yeah. Turret rotation ain't exactly there, so you're gonna want to not get disabled in this thing. Let's see about how easily we can... Can we turn in place? Yeah, sort of. Actually... You can actually use the hull to turn the gun, pre-turn the gun pretty easily. That's better than I expected it would be. Oh my god, yeah, we're gonna go after a... We're gonna go after a T-95 with this! Shooting at a T-95 with 120 millimeter HE from 800 meters away. We didn't even break the track. Oh, jeez. Alright, there's no coax machine gun, and yeah, this thing, you're gonna die in about half a second as soon as somebody gets an airplane into the battle. That is for sure. Alright, let's see how it works against a somewhat lighter tier tank here. It actually didn't kill it outright. I'm actually surprised it didn't just straight up one-hit kill the M2A4. That's... Honestly, I thought it was just going to be a one-hit kill. Okay, see, when I said it should be able to deal with anything up to 1.7, I was thinking it would have some sort of an AP or an APHE type shell, but with HE only, it's not quite as much of a meme machine as I thought it was going to be. It'd probably be alright at top tier, but it's not quite as exciting as I thought with only this HE round. I mean, that was fun. Let's see if we can spot the, Oh, how far... Actually, let's see. How far does the gun traverse? We better test that. Oh, that seems to be it. Okay, so it's front pie wedge, basically. Well, that's okay, because, I mean, honestly, you can neutral... It doesn't properly have neutral steering, but it actually turns really well. So, while it doesn't have neutral steering, it's got very good power and mobility to turn in place to swing your gun faster. So it's actually not bad. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to kill a super person. Yep, that ain't going to be a thing. That's a good question, Beef. Let's go check that out. We'll try splash damage underneath the Sherman and see what it's like. Okay. Yeah, speed. Speed is not probably going to break 25 miles an hour across terrain, although we're getting close. It's not too bad. Looks like all the ammo storage is back in this box back here. That makes sense. 21, it's actually pretty close to making its maximum top speed across terrain. Alright, let's see what we can do underneath a tank. This might be kind of hilarious. Alright, we'll try a little lower. Oh, this thing is going to get massacred by machine guns for sure. Huh. Alright, well, it'll be fun. I don't think it'll be quite as fun as I initially pictured it being, but I mean, you can't beat the face on the front of the thing, though. So France has got a 7.3 battle rating premium heavy tank, the Somua SM. It's very similar to the AMX M4 and the AMX 50s, but it's more heavily armored, so less of a insta-death if you get hit. So for modifications, standard 100mm French gun, standard 100mm French gun ammo. Now let's take it for a test drive. The turret armor is going to be garbage because the turret armor on that turret is garbage. Hey, the radiator fans work. See if we can get through the lower part of the egg tiger here. Well, we can track him anyway. Bring her up a little. That one, if any of these shots were going to go through, it was that one. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get through the egg tiger from this angle. Nope! Alright, turret rotation. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, ammo storage looks pretty Panther Tiger-y to me. The autoloader drum is pretty neat, and the reload tray for the autoloader. Interesting. It's pretty loud. It's pretty tall. But how do we look for mobility? It's actually getting to 25 miles an hour, so it's actually reaching its rated supposed top speed, which is impressive across cross-country terrain, actually. Gun sure stabilized quickly when I came to a stop. There was not a lot of bouncing right there. I'm used to a lot of bouncy when you come to a stop in this game, but that seemed to stabilize real quickly, so. Yeah, there's no bounce at all. So, interesting. Alright, doesn't get through the upper front of a Tiger, too. How about the lower front? How about right underneath it without hitting the lower front? Yeah, alright. Get through the lower front of a Tiger 2 without any trouble, so. Let's see about a long-range shot on the Yag Tiger from over here. Got 15 shots left. Let's put some more shots into people. I pretty much hit the most perfect shot of non-penetration I could have hit right there. On that Ferdy. That's pretty funny. The Lorraine 40 T has physical rubber tires because they were cheaper and easier to manufacture than high-quality circular steel rims, so that's why. Alright, where is our friend the Ag Tiger? Should be back here? Or is he more forward? Oh, he's way up here. There he is. This should go through with basically no problem. Yeah. No trouble going through this side. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it. Well. Isn't that surprising? Let's see what the modifications look like. Yeah. I had a feeling we were going to have APF SDS here. This tank just got one hell of a lot more interesting than what I expected it was going to be. Okay, not too bad on the APF SDS here. I think that's, if I remember right, that's DM23. I think that's what the M80 is. Pretty sure that's what the 103C has. We'll make that our primary ammo. How are we looking for machine guns here? We've got 2 machine guns, so should be 1 on the roof and 1 coax. The normal grenade, smoke grenade launchers. And 48 rounds of ammo. This is an interesting tank. Okay. Test drive. Test drive a Rooney. The back of the turret looks... I don't know why. It just looks hilarious with the way I'm used to seeing Centurion turrets look. So, with all the baskets and stuff. It's got the smoke... the illumination flares on the back that I know for sure what those are. And the 2 illumination mortars on there. That look so much like radio antennas, but aren't. That almost went through. Bring it up a little bit. And... Booyah! Well, we killed his driver. That'd be, much... That'd be a great feeling to know we took out his driver as he turns around and beats the shit out of us with his main gun because his gunner and his commander are still alive. Alright, let's see how she moves. Well... we got up to 21 miles an hour pretty quickly. Anyway. Just over him. Reload speed ain't exactly too happy. I hit the end of his cannon barrel! That's funny stuff. Alright, we're going to check out the armor rating on the back of the turret here when we get back to the hangar. But otherwise, there's not too much more to check out on this tank, really. There she is. Yep, DM23 doesn't have too much trouble with the T-64A. Okay. Alright.